The benchmarks move as I get older.
What's your timeline for retirement?
Work till I'm 70, and then to look for something part-time afterwards. If I had to retire and had to live on what I have right now, I'd be much more worried.
For the elderly who have dedicated their entire youth to contributing to society and are now looking forward to a fair retirement, the fear of losing their daily food assistance has become a psychological ghost weighing heavily on every meal. Imagine a grim scenario where you enter your late 50s or early 60s, your health begins to decline, and you suddenly receive a notice that your food assistance card, the only lifeline maintaining your nutrition, will be suspended if you cannot prove you are working strenuously. This is not merely a technical change in a file, but an existential crisis for the most vulnerable demographic, those who no longer possess the flexibility to adapt to a rapidly changing labor market. This instability strikes directly at the right to guaranteed minimum food security, forcing every senior to arm themselves with legal knowledge and administrative skills to avoid being excluded from the social safety net while policies are being tightened at an unprecedented level. The general picture of the SNAP Food Assistance Program in late 2025 is covered by waves of intense volatility originating from systemic changes in the federal government approach to welfare. Over the past 12 months, the senior community has witnessed a shift from a system of unconditional support to a management mechanism based on strict compliance with work requirements and data transparency. A particularly important milestone was November 2025, when maximum benefits were cut by 50% across the board due to a prolonged government shutdown and a shortage of federal funding. This event created an unseen urgency in understanding the specific steps to maintain benefits, especially as states face pressure to conduct large-scale file reviews aimed at removing those who do not meet the new standards for working age. Regarding the legal framework and direct management responsibility, this entire new process is operated based on the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, officially announced on July 4, 2025. The United States Department of Agriculture, under the leadership of Secretary Brooke Rollins, has established a new roadmap forcing those aged 56 to 64 to participate in the workforce if they wish to maintain SNAP benefits. This document is not just a budget law, but a tool for reshaping personal responsibility, where the Federal Food and Nutrition Service requires state welfare offices to perform aggressive identity and employment verification steps. The legal battle between 22 states and the federal government over providing recipient identification data has created a complex administrative environment where the elderly can easily become victims of data system errors if they do not know how to protect themselves. To avoid a regrettable loss of benefits, accurate guidance from official and government sources indicates that the first and most important step for seniors is to correctly identify their specific target group. For those who have reached the age of 60, they need to request the application of the Simplified Application Project for Seniors, a mechanism that helps reduce paperwork barriers and allows for a recertification cycle lasting up to 24 months instead of the usual 12 months. However, for the age group from 56 to 59, proactively preparing proof of health status is the key to survival. If an individual cannot work 80 hours per month due to physical or mental limitations, they must immediately contact a doctor to obtain an official medical certification clearly stating that they are incapable of labor. This is the strongest legal evidence to receive an exemption from the strict work requirements of the new act without being considered in violation of the regulations. Data and statistics from 2025 show that the level of risk is enormous, as the budget for SNAP is expected to be cut by approximately $200 billion over the next decade. This leads to much narrower file review standards than before. A practical step to avoid denial is for seniors to switch from automatic utility allowance verification to storing actual bills. In states like Maryland, declaring electricity and water costs without attached bills currently often results in being calculated with a higher net income, thereby reducing the monthly benefit amount or even leading to a rejected application. Beneficiaries need to keep all receipts for rent, property taxes, and especially medical expenses not covered by insurance exceeding $35 per month, as these are important deductions that help increase the actual benefit amount that many seniors often overlook due to cumbersome procedures. Viewed from a multidisciplinary perspective, guiding seniors on steps to protect their interests is significant not only personally, but also for the economy and public health. Economically, when seniors maintain a stable benefit level, they sustain purchasing power at local grocery stores, contributing to retail market stability amid tightening federal budgets. Medically, complying with verification steps to avoid losing SNAP helps prevent malnutrition, thereby reducing emergency hospitalization rates for complications related to poor diets. The Make America Healthy Again initiative also applies restrictions on sugary foods in 18 states, so seniors also need to learn how to adjust their shopping lists to avoid card denials at checkout due to violations of unhealthy food regulations. In current policy debates, many opinions argue that forcing people near 60 to work is a measure to help them integrate into society and maintain activity. But organizations protecting the poor point out that this is a form of implicit exclusion. Government arguments emphasize that data and income verification requirements are to prevent the situation where 186,000 deceased individuals remain on the benefit recipient list. However, to avoid being mistakenly targeted in these large data reviews, seniors need to perform periodic personal information verification steps with the Welfare Office, ensuring that names, addresses, and Social Security numbers in the system are completely accurate. Any small discrepancy in the context of the data war between states and the federal government today could lead to the system automatically suspending a citizen's benefit card. The impact on beneficiaries, especially low-income groups and the disabled, will worsen if they do not master the change reporting process. A crucial step that seniors often forget is reporting any decrease in income or increase in medical costs as soon as it happens, instead of waiting for the recertification period. According to the new regulations of 2025, these changes must be notified within 10 days for the system to update the benefit amount in time. For those with unstable part-time jobs, maintaining a work log or a volunteer log with a confirmation signature from the receiving unit is irreplaceable evidence to prove compliance with the 80-hour per month regulation. Preparing these documents in advance will help seniors be more confident when facing direct or telephone verification interviews from authorities. The upcoming schedule shows that file reviews will take place more strictly in the first quarter of 2026. Citizens need to note the timing of receiving notification letters from the United States Department of Agriculture and state welfare agencies. A practical experience is to always respond to requests for additional information within 10 working days to avoid the file being closed automatically. Additionally, monitoring court hearings on requirements to provide immigration data is also very important, as this could change the types of documents citizens need to present in the near future. Reimbursements or benefit amount adjustments due to legal rulings may also occur, requiring beneficiaries to frequently check their card balances to promptly appeal if there are errors. In summary, implementing steps to protect SNAP rights is an urgent task that requires meticulousness for every senior in the volatile political and economic context of 2025. The significance of mastering verification procedures does not stop at ensuring daily meals, but is an affirmation of the legitimate rights of those who have spent their lives building the country. Proactivity in collecting medical records, storing utility bills, and maintaining work logs is the most solid shield against large-scale budget cuts. Every individual needs to realize that in a system transforming toward more stringency, knowledge and timeliness in action are the keys to maintaining stability for life in old age. Closely following instructions from official agencies and being ready to fight for one's rights through administrative appeal processes will help ensure that no senior faces hunger in a modern society.